And welcome everybody here to a special Tuesday night edition of the Reservation Roundup here live from Quebedeaux's Cajun Cafe here in Pineville. I am Billy French, your voice of your Tioga Indians. And to my right here, which is normally Coach Kevin Cook here, but we got a special treat for you tonight. We got the athletic director, Coach Christman, is going to be filling in for Coach Cook tonight. And, Coach, it's good to have you here. This is the first time we've had you this year.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We appreciate you stepping in here. Again, this is going to be normally every Thursday night we are here for the Reservation Roundup, but we got a big game coming up this Thursday night here. And, again, if those of you who do not know why we have to play a few games during the season on Thursday nights, that's because of officials. You can't have, we can't quite get enough officials for every team to play just on Friday night. So a lot of times every team in the state will have to play a Thursday night game just to try to make up and give those officials, so basically some officials will call 2 games in 1 week. So that's why we're going to have it Thursday night. We're going to be traveling to Pine Prairie this week here, Thursday night. But we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. So, Coach, we're kind of coming into this tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Gina game. Not the biggest hype up. I mean, we wasn't our best effort, which everybody knows how that goes. But that's a very, very good Gina team that we played last Friday night.
They were well disciplined. They played to both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir.
Their offense tailored to the defense and vice versa. They really run heavy on their offense, and they really stop the, they
Yes.
really go out to stop the run on defense. So they're a well-coached team, and I felt like, we should play to a standard. And when we learn to do that, the better off we're going to be. And we didn't reach that goal Friday night.
Yeah, Tioga drops their first game of the season this last Friday night, 28-6 against Gina. They start the game off, Coach, and of course the tight end turned quarterback for Gina. That's a big guy. He was a pretty stout, young-looking man, wasn't he?
Oh, he's a good-sized kid. But they have a lot of big kids over there, and they do a real good job. Yeah, all credit to them. I thought they did a fantastic job. We had our opportunities, and we made some mistakes in critical situation that led to where we were at.
Yes, sir. So starting off the scoring on that game seemed to be maybe a mix-up in coverage on the Hunter touchdown reception, their first score of the game. You could see where our safeties kind of bit on. I don't know if it was a play fake but there was some type of mix-up. That was their first score. And then a little bit later on, seems like every week it's an expectation almost nowadays, where Jacorian is just, reading the quarterback very, very well, intercepts it, runs it back. I had it unofficially for like 63-yard interception return. And tell us a little bit about Jacorian. I know the hype has been there all year for Jacorian, but it's kind of well-deserved when you keep doing it week on and week out.
Well, he's blossomed. He struggled as a sophomore and, quite honestly, as a junior in coverage. And so he just blossomed. He's been successful in this season because I really, maturity and experience is very important in the game of football. So there's not much he hasn't seen, and we play good opponents. So, when you play Bro Bridge, they're going to throw the ball all around. You get some experience in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, there was after that, of course, there was the Zarek Jones, which we knew Jones was going to be their main guy to run the ball, and he has some explosive speed. He had a couple of touchdowns, and then towards the end of the game, there was another touchdown from Barker again. But there was 3 special teams return for touchdown called back this weekend, and all 3 of them was from Jacor. I believe it was 1 punt, 2 kickoff returns, if I'm right.
You're absolutely right. And a lot of times, even that as a DB, you have to have eye discipline, and you have to have position discipline. And so sometimes when you get out of position, you reach or grab. So that was some of the keys to getting those touchdowns called back. And again, that's just the discipline, playing to a standard. I think we're going to be okay. It's even if you're a senior, you still learn.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So I think we'll be okay. We got some important games coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. That was, a lot of teams this week are going into district play. We have one more non-district game here getting to kind of get tuned up for a very good district play. But again, we knew that Gina team. We play them a lot. Coach over there, he's very, very good. And Coach Cook talked about it. He's like you said, he's a well-oiled machine over there. It's well coached on every side of the ball. And they do have the 2 on defensive line. They had 2 300-plus. On offensive line, they had 2 300-plus. And that was the biggest team that we've seen this year. But I think the score shows 28-6. I understand that, but if you go watch that game again, the game is a very, very close game the entire time. Just kind of, a play here and there, especially a couple of those special teams that maybe didn't get called back if we didn't hold here or there.
Right.
We're the momentum. We live off of momentum, and we've done that pretty much all season long.
Well, every game comes down to a few plays, and they made the plays, and we didn't. And that's the playing to the standard part that I mentioned.
Yes, sir.
And I'll continue to mention that because that's what I mentioned to the kids. We're going to have to outwork people. We're going to have to do the things that we do discipline-wise to be successful. And to be honest with you, we took the opening drive in the second half all the way down, get it on the 1-yard line. We thought we had scored.
I thought we did as well.
We get a 15-yard penalty in the process of that, backs us up. That would have made it a 1-score game.
Yes.
And that changes everything.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, the score does not dictate the way this game was played Friday night. There was, like you said, just a couple of plays here and there that changed the entire complexity of the game. I thought the defense held true because we knew they were going to be a run steady, just run. aside from and I even said it while while the game was going on. We're just only a handful of plays away from us having the lead with the way our specialty, and we can score fast with the skill set that we have with the Josh Lloyd's, the Jacorian Norris, the Travis Adams. They could break one almost at any time. And it's, like you said, it's a tough loss, but it's a good learning curve. You'd rather do that now than I suppose when you get into the playoffs. You try to, get everything rolling, and that's something, we don't even know. I don't know what the official thing. I know they had a big meeting today. We don't know quite sure what the playoffs are going to look like, but that's for a playoff show later and down the road. We'll go over that. But Travis Adams comes in with 20 carries, 57 yards. Case had 5 carries for 10 yards. Josh Lloyd, 2 catches, 26 yards. Curvin had 3. And Curvin got a little bit more involved in the game this week than he has been in the last couple of weeks. We had the Riccardi, who only had 1 catch, 10 yards. He had the big drop early on in the game. That would have, wide open. That could have, again, changed the entire momentum. But, it happens. Jacorian had a catch. Ryan Reeves had a catch. And Travis had a catch. But just going by what we've seen so far, Coach, for the year, Travis Adams has been a delightful surprise on the offensive side. The young man, he has no quit, and he don't mind hitting somebody when he's carrying the ball.
No, he is quick. He is unbelievably good vision in the hole, and the offensive line, they do a fantastic job of blocking, and they had their hands full with that big old boys that Gina has. So, but Travis Adams is going to be really, really special because he's only a sophomore.
Right, and it's nice to have that.
Oh, he's going to be special. So, the future's bright with him.
Well, like I said, there was a few bright spots. Travis had a pretty decent night carrying the ball. I tell you what, our Southern Air cool play of the game, that was the interception by Jacorian who brought it back, But our player of the game, our Quebedeaux player of the game, which we announced here Thursday night at our Coach Speak show, was Caleb Andrus. And I believe he also got you guys his personal award. And that young man, it seemed, we were up in the press box with the window open. And, Coach, you could hear the pads hitting when he hit somebody. I am impressed with Caleb. And we always talk about Gunnar Delaney, and Gunnar deserves everything that he gets. That young man he leads that defense, and you could tell. But just this particular night, it seemed like Caleb Andrus really set himself apart from a lot of really good linebackers around the area.
Well, he is very good, and thank the good Lord he's a junior. But the offense that Gina runs, you have to have a big, strong kid in there, and he was plugging it up, and he was laying the leather. And so the old snapper knocker days, that's what we were getting.
Yes, sir.
We were getting it, and he's such a good kid. So, I was very happy for him.
We got to talk to him last Thursday night on the show here, and again, like you said, very, very well spoken, a very respectful young man. I hate to say kids, but they're young men, of course. And he just seemed, and even towards the end of the game, when it kind of was a little bit, kind of understanding that we probably weren't going to win this game, he was still in the backfield, just wreaking havoc on that Gina team, and he really impressed me this last Friday night. Also, this year, Case Malone, he's 33 for 54 with 349 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. We haven't asked him to throw the ball a whole lot this year, and he's been very efficient doing it when he needed to throw.
Right. He's growing in the position every practice, every game. And he's going to be a good one.
Oh, there's no doubt.
And he's another good guy, and he's underclassman. So he's got a lot of room to grow. So he's doing a real good job of – it's a hard job. He has to get the signals from the sideline. He's got to communicate it. If we have any checks on the line, we have to do that. And then he's doing a fantastic job. So, like I said earlier, these kids will grow up, and then – it's going to be all right.
Absolutely. And, again, he is only a sophomore, and it's hard, a quarterback coming in. And from what I hear, I've talked to his dad, of course, him and his dad and I are good friends. He set records at Red River football on throwing. So he can definitely throw the ball. And now when we have such a deep running backs that he might not need to do it all the time. But when you've got a Travis Adams, And you've got a Zito, and you've got Kenny Ponche. Then you got we had Kiwan run a little bit the other day, and just all the young men that we have were so deep at the running back position. That is a great problem to have.
We are deep at the running back position, and they all bring different qualities to that position. Where Travis is quick and fast, Kenny's more powerful, Zito's a little quicker, smaller type back, a scat back type. So they all bring different things, but qualities that you need in, of course, of a game like the magnitudes that we play.
Yes, sir. And, of course, Case he's played both sides of the ball his whole life. He don't mind laying a lick, too. That read option works out great sometimes when he reads that defensive end and he takes it and he goes up the middle and he gets big chunks of yardage. We should see a lot of that this coming up week as well. It's nice to have like I said, a stable of young men. And then when you need to throw it, you've got your Ja'Cory Norris, you've got your Josh Lloyds, you've got your Bradley Ricardis, your Kiwan, just a stable of wide receivers as well. It's nice to be a coach and have some really, really good players to work with.
Well, as the receiver coach for the team, I could tell you that we have the Ryan Reeves, the Christian Isles, that they're going to get more and more playing time as we get deeper into the playoffs, because we have the Norrises and the Lloyds have to play on offense and defense, and so they're gradually working their way to getting that. And then Curvin is just really starting to develop to be I think he's going to be a special kid.
He's got the size that you beg for as a wide receiver coach.
He's 6'3", 6'4", and he's still growing, and I would think he's about 180 right now, if not bigger than that. So that, as a receiver coach, we have everything that we need there.
And speaking of Ryan Reeves, I've called his name all season long. I love when he gets in the game. He's one of those guys that he's not afraid to put his body on the line. And in that tight end spot, which almost kind of fills in like a fullback as well in our offense.
Yeah.
But he is that first one through that line. And there's a reason Travis Adams a lot of times has these big holes. And it's these offensive linemen and, of course, Ryan Reeves laying a lick and giving him a big hole to run through.
Well, the best thing that happened to us is Ryan Reeves as it relates to that tight end position. We were undersized, and we didn't have that person, and it just grew for us. It's making the offense grow, and he works well with the offensive line. And so when you get these quick backs and the offensive line, Coach Book, coach's offensive line does a fantastic job. So it's all meshing together. And even against Gina, we were a shoestring away, of making some real big plays. But that's football. It happens that way. So, we got to turn the page, get ready for the next one, and then get ready for district.
Yeah, and like you said, that is, just a couple of plays away. The 28-6 score is not what it was. If you watch that game, and you can always go back and watch our games here on live, it is free. You can go back and look at any game that Tioga has played all season long. But, yeah, again, just a few plays. But when you've got the skill set that you have, Coach, and, of course, we're going to talk to Coach Landry, the offensive coordinator, here in the next segment. And I believe he brought our sophomore leader quarterback, Mr. Case Malone, and I believe Christian Isles is here as well. So we're going to talk to them in a little while. But when you have the kind of leadership and skill set that you have from your quarterback, from your running back, you've got a top-tier quarterback, top-tier running back, top-tier wide receivers, top-tier tight end. It's nice to have that kind of a weapon to use, and we're going to get a little feedback from Coach Landry as well here, and because when he's making these calls, of course, you got to have trust in your guys to do it, and I know he does.
Well, the good thing about our offense is the flexibility, and when you're flexible, you put pressure on the defense. They can't just stop one thing. So in the course of play calling, you get onto something, and if it's working, you just hang your hat on it. And for the most part, it's been the run for us.
Yes.
And then if we can run the ball, we are scary to deal with. And so I'm hoping that we continue that and as we go into district. And we do run some screen packages and things with our receivers, so that's allowing those big linemen to get downfield and knock the mess out of some folks.
That's what it's all about. But we are here live at Quebedeaux Cajun Cafe here in Pineville. This is a special edition. This is a Tuesday night show. We are playing on Thursday night at Pine Prairie. It's why we're having this show tonight instead of the regularly scheduled Thursday night. Appreciate Coach Chrisman, for athletic director at your Tioga High School, for filling. That ninja now. Yeah.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. Did you know that September is Life Insurance Awareness Month? Our team is here to educate about life insurance and help you make the right coverage choices. With the right agent this month and every month, taking care of your family can be simple and something you can do today. There's no better time than now to learn how life insurance can protect your family's financial security. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Welcome back, everybody, to a special edition of Reservation Roundup on a Tuesday night here from Quebedeaux in Pineville. I am Billy French, your voice of the Tioga Indians, and then my partner behind the camera, you can't see him, our producer, Chuck Perkins. We appreciate Chuck here. Again, special edition tonight. This is a Tuesday night broadcast. We normally do the coaches show on Thursday night, but we're playing this Thursday night. We got a road game at Pine Prairie, so we wanted to make sure that we had enough time. And I am sitting here now, of course, right next to the offensive coordinator for your Tioga Indians, Coach Landry, and that was Coach Chrisman coming across. He was waving at everybody. Look, he loves being on camera, and I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But we're with Coach Landry here, the offensive coordinator, and a couple of the players, which we'll let him introduce. You probably know him already, but we're going to let him introduce them. And, Coach, Tough loss this last Friday night against
Sure.
a very, very good Gina team, but your offense had some things rolling in a couple times, just a lot of stuff called back or drop passes. So tell us a little bit of the mindset for the offense right now, who's coming into that game was kind of just having their way with everybody, and then a very, very good team.
Yeah, look, we knew Gina's defense would be tough. They played us very tough last year. They had everybody back on defense. I mean, they were coached very well. We knew it'd be tough. We felt good about our game plan, and I thought our kids, executed our game plan. We just came up short, on a couple of plays. Had a couple of deep ball, passes that we had a chance to catch and just didn't quite complete it. Just came up short. We at the end of the day, give Gina credit. They played well and they executed when they had chances, and we didn't. And so. But I was proud of our effort. I was proud of the way our kids, prepared all week. I was proud of how they executed the game plan and what we wanted to do. Just you're disappointed when you come up short like that.
And it was just, again, like we talked earlier, it's just a few plays here. Of
Yeah.
course, we had a drop that could have changed could have been a touchdown. We had 3 returns called back from touchdowns, and we've kind of set the motion this season on takeaways. We've done a great job on the defensive side getting takeaways, and it's allowing our special teams to score a lot. We've been able to run the ball. I mean, you've got a stable of running backs, Coach, that you get to pick what you want at that specific time.
Yeah, no, our running backs have been outstanding. We got some guys that can really run the ball. Really proud of our offensive line. I know they were featured here a couple weeks ago.
Yes,
our
sir.
offensive line, we returned 4 starters from last year's team, so we really felt good going into the season about those guys, and all 5 of our offensive linemen have blocked really, really well. So, hey, we like to run the ball. I'm an offensive line guy. That's what I got started. That's what I got my feet wet in this business. So, we're going to run the ball. There's no doubt about it. But we also have the ability to throw it when we need to and get some good athletes on the edge the ball.
And look, you can tell he's been doing this for a while. He segues for me right over here. And he's got a few of his players here, including our sophomore quarterback, Mr. Case Malone. So, Coach, real quick, if you would, introduce who you got here with you tonight.
Case Malone is right there to your left. He's our starting quarterback. He's a sophomore. Couldn't be more proud of the way he's handled the whole offense and what he's done for us this year. Next to him is another sophomore, Christian Isles, and the story on him. So our freshman quarterback broke his leg on the last play of the Pineville game. We get it. We put the young kids in there the Friday night and just running out the clock on the last play of the game, gets tackled, breaks his leg. So Christian, who's been a receiver for us, has never played quarterback. Very willingly said, "Hey, Coach, I'll go play quarterback for you, with the younger kids." So he's been outstanding.
That's
really
great,
proud of the way he's handled that and his attitude towards that. And then on this side of us is Kewan Kyle, who was another receiver and kind of the same situation. He did play a little bit of quarterback for us last year in some situations, so he had a little experience with that. But same situation, just. Due to some injuries and other things, needed another kid to get some reps at quarterback, and he took it. He very willingly took it over, and actually had a very outstanding game last night against Gina's JV. So,
well, that's fantastic. We talked to Case real quick here first, and Case, of course, sophomore quarterback. You knew coming into this game that this was going to be probably your toughest matchup. I love the fact that I love the read option with you. I love it. I watch you when you're going. I see you looking at that DN, seeing if he's biting or they're crashing on this side. That's kind of been a great little play call that you have. But any quarterback that I've ever known, they love to throw the ball. Is that what you love to do before you can run
it? Yes, sir. I like to run it, but sometimes I like to air it out.
You got to. So, and you've had a couple. We've had the Southern Air Cool Play of the Game this season already from you throwing to Jacorian, I believe, on one, or Josh. But you've been able to throw the ball this year. I've got you unofficially for 33 for 54 for the season, 349 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And, again, that is very good numbers for our offense, where we are a run offense. That's what you do.
Yes.
You have a stable of guys behind you, of course, with Travis, with Kenny, with everybody, and, of course, and you get a few carries yourself. Tell me what it's like to be a quarterback and have so many weapons. How nice is that as to be, and knowing that you can spread it around if you need to?
It's really nice because, I mean, if like all of my receivers got really good hands, and whenever I need someone to catch the ball, they're there to catch it, and it's just nice having that many seniors as my receivers, and yeah.
It makes it easy on you. I mean,
Yes.
it really does, because if you need a big play, you can absolutely be right there.
Yes.
And, of course, let me ask you this real quick, and this is more of a personal note. Does Coach Landry yell as much as your dad?
Oh, no,
On the
sir.
field.
Nowhere near.
Okay, I didn't think. Look, I've been around your daddy forever. While you were a little bitty lad, and I didn't think Coach Landry would be there for that. So if you could take Owen Malone as your dad,
Yes.
you can take any type of anything coming in from Coach Landry.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's pass it on over here to Christian. Chris, tell me, man. So you coming in now? You're kind of helping out on the quarterback side. How does that? You're enjoying that?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know that it's only one play away from you possibly having to step up into the other one.
Yes,
so
sir.
Got to get prepared quick. So, what you, of course, coming from a wide receiver to a quarterback, you know what to expect from your wide receiver. You already know the routes and everything. So, is it an easy adjustment for you?
Yes, sir.
Not say easy, but it's an easier adjustment.
Yes, sir. And then there was like some things where I had to kind of make more reads, because usually as a wide receiver, you just kind of get yourself open. But as a
Right.
quarterback, you have to start reading. And so that's the kind of thing I had to adjust to. And so it took a minute, but once I started figuring out my pace, I think I got it pretty well.
Well, that's good. He said y'all had a great game at Gina this week here, and you got to experience the little bit. That's a big deal stepping up like that,
Yes,
especially
sir.
when you haven't played it. And it's just a tough deal. Going to go over to Mr. Kiwan Kyle here and make sure that thing's on. I believe it is, but yeah. Tell me, what's your take on it? Now you actually played. I know last week you played the quarterback position in the JV, and then I've seen you come in already this year when we had the big lead at the end of that one game.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Do you enjoy throwing the ball, or are you more of a look? If I got a lane, I'm taking it? Because I know you got speed, so.
Yes, sir. It's a little bit of both. I like throwing it, but if I see the lane to take it, I'll take it.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to have. I mean, again, and that's something that I'm sure I know Cates we've got to watch a little bit more tape with him this year, but the biggest thing that I enjoy, Coach, is when he does tuck it and he has to go. If it's not a option, our quarterback, if he's just rolling out of the pocket, he's still looking downfield, which is hard to teach that, because a lot of them have that mentality with, oh my goodness, here comes the blitz.
Yeah.
Let me just tuck it.
Absolutely. Look, we actually mentioned this Saturday when we was reviewing the film. Especially for a young quarterback, Case is as good as I've ever coached as far as just his movement in the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield and looking for a throw. He's been really good at that.
Well, absolutely. You got it. Okay, that tough loss here, guys. We have our first loss. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't, it kind of refrains us sometimes. Because to be honest, we've had, aside from the Bro Bridge game, we've pretty much dominated everybody we've played this year. And it's tough when you go into a game and you win 58-0 the first game. You have a tough matchup, but then you come back again and you blow out the next one. You get a lot of shutouts on offense. So it could kind of get lethargic into where it's kind of like it's an easy deal. And then you come in here and knowing that you're going to be playing a good team, you kind of get hit in the mouth. And it happens, and that's part of football. That's anywhere you go, every level that you play. But it's on how you respond from that week to this week here. Now, we've got an opponent coming up this weekend, and I know y'all have all watched film and all that. They are 0-5, and this should be a good warm-up to get into district play. But I'm sure that none of you guys are taking this, and y'all can choose whoever wants to talk, but you're not taking this as just a walkover win.
Go ahead, Case.
No, sir. Not at all. I mean, we just got to go out there and, execute the game plan. And it doesn't matter who's in front of us. We just got to do what we do.
Absolutely. Well, again, you got some things that you might want to correct from last week coming into this. This is a good way to do that, Coach. And, again, the offense has just been moving the ball very, very well all season long. Travis has got 377 yards total for this year, 6 touchdowns. And, you've got a couple, quarterback scores as well from inside. I love the 1-yard push. That's one of my favorite plays, of course. Anytime quarterbacks don't get that very often, but if you can get that little 1-yard rushing touchdown, it's awesome. But again, we come in a tough game and it kind of refocuses everybody. It doesn't just refocus the players. The community. It's a refocus because community. They're not in depth like you guys are, knowing what's going on here. They see Tioga 4-0, scoring 50 points, giving up very little points. They take a last. It's not going to be our last break. It's going to be one of our breaks. I don't want to say last because sometimes I do that and they think, no, you're done. But we're going to take a break. When we come back here, we're going to talk a little bit about Pine Prairie with Coach Chrisman. A few more minutes here. We are live at a special edition tonight, Quebedeaux Cajun Cafe here on a Tuesday night because we play Thursday night at Pine Prairie. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Time for our red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel and promotions in Pineville.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
And welcome back, everybody, here to a special Tuesday night edition of the Reservation Roundup here. Normally, we are with Coach Kevin Cook, head coach of your Tioga Indians, but we got a special treat for you tonight. We have the athletic director, Mr. Coach Crispin. We appreciate Coach. We appreciate him coming in and filling in for Coach Cook. And again, we are live every Thursday night normally here at the Quebedeaux Cajun Cafe here in Pineville. We did shift it because this coming up Thursday night, we have the Pine Prairie Panthers right down the road here, and it should be a good matchup again. Most teams in the state going into district play, Coach, and we have one more kind of a warm-up game to get ready for a big district slate that we start next week.
Well, you want to work on the mistakes that you made the previous week. You want to work on those things and work on your game plan and work on the things that you need to improve before you get into district.
Well, Pine Prairie coach comes in 0-5. Of course, they have not had a good luck thus this season. Of course, that does not mean you take anybody lightly by any means, but they open up their season with a loss to Oberlin, 46-24, a loss to Livonia, 28-0. They go against Buckeye, and the run game from Buckeye put up a ton of points, 67-24. Church Point, 52-14. They lose that game. And then last week, so they're going to be a little salty. They lost to Ville Platte last week, 64-0. So should bode well for our offense being able to run the ball. Again, this is a tune-up. You want to get a lot of things fixed, of course, like you said, from a tough game. But give us a little bit, Coach Landry kind of a little bit on the Pine Prairie team. What kind of an offense are they looking at running coming in this Thursday night?
They're a little multiple. They run double slots. Sometimes they'll run a tight end in the game. It seems a little bit of wing T action that they get in, and then defensively some type of 6-1 with some man coverage. They're struggling a little bit, to be honest with you, when you're giving up that many points. It's a good game for us to get our feet back on the ground, do what we need to do to get ready for district, work on some things. And quite honestly, a game like this is a scary game.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to overlook anybody. I always tell the kids, you got to respect your opponent at all times. Come out, play to a standard, do what you got to do, and you'll be okay.
Again, like you said, though, I love the way you worded it. Of course, this is a good game to get your feet back and rolling here. Again, this should be a game that your offense can get a lot of stuff, get a lot of work to get ready for this big district slate that we're going to be kicking off here, of course, next weekend. Next Friday night is our homecoming against Franklin Parish, and we know how good they are. We remember them last year. They've got some size here. And going against one of these schools that's like Pine Prairie, a little bit smaller school, they're going to have, while Tioga might dress out 80 to 100 players, they're not going to have that. They're going to have a lot of two-way players. Pretty much the entire team is going to be going both ways. So this is where, again, you can get a lot of good things and get a lot of work, not only from your starters, because you want to get them as much playing time and get things, but to get some of these younger guys, especially with the quarterback position, being that now you've got two guys that's kind of helping step up at the quarterback position if something was to happen to Case, God forbid.
Every rep in a game is important. And when you get those reps, you have to make the most of it. It doesn't matter if you're the first team guy, second team, whatever. You have to take that opportunity to try to be the very best you can be. And it's important to gain that experience.
Yes, sir.
And if you take that, I always tell people when you play a game like this, it's kind of like if LSU's playing a McNeese State. Okay, you're going to work on certain things, game plans, things of that nature, to try to see what works and what doesn't work and what you need to throw out and what you might need to add. So it is absolutely a good game for that. And we're going to respect our opponent and come out and play.
You say that about LSU McNeese. It goes back to last year, Jalen's senior year, my son, your defensive line coach, when they played LSU. Of course, people would say, man, are they going to beat LSU? No, sir, they're not going to beat LSU. But they're going to get a lot of work. They're going to get to see something. They're going to get to see the top-tier players that you're going to get to see, and it allows you to get better for yourself and get to see, because if you go against guys every week that you're going to blow out, it's not going to help you. And then when you go against a team like a Gina or a Franklin Parish or a Neville, you're not going to expect – you're not going to be prepared, should I say, when it comes and it really hits you in the mouth.
The Gina game put a different atmosphere on some of the kids. And it was a big game type of atmosphere. So once we get into Franklin Parish or Neville, those type games, Peabody, whoever it might be, that atmosphere won't be too big for them.
Right.
They're used to it. They understand it, and it revs up each week. And once you get in the playoffs, so it teaches, and you get it. You get the experience you need.
Absolutely. Well, give us a little rundown, too, Coach, if you don't mind, how it works on a 4-day work week, a 4-day game here, because you really, of course, you don't get a whole lot of – you're having to compress a lot of stuff, but you also want to make sure they have a little bit of time to rest as well. Kind of give us a rundown from Saturday, we'll say some Saturday morning, kind of what the mindset is to get ready for a Thursday night ball game.
So on Saturday morning, the kids come in, they lift weights, they run. On Sunday, or the offensive staff meet and we go over film normally on Saturday. On Sunday, we come in and we work until we get our, we map out on Sunday, practice on Monday, practice on Tuesday, and so forth. So once we leave there, which if we get there between 2 or 3 o'clock, we're, say, 7.
Yeah.
So we're in the grind. We work 7 days a week. We do what we got to do, and there's a lot of work to it. And then, like Monday was an install day. We installed the game plan. Tuesday, we practice the game plan, and then Wednesday we walk through it, and then we go to our game Thursday.
So those of you listening at home and you're just a casual football fan, if you don't realize the hours that these coaches and young men put in week on, this is especially this coaching staff. And I know you've been doing this for a long time, Coach. And during football season, there's not a whole lot of home life, because you're at the football field way more than you're ever at home.
It's 7 days a week. You're constantly watching film, even if you at home on an iPad, or computer, You're watching film. We normally trade 3 or 4 films, and we go over the films. The special teams coordinator goes over special teams. He's also the defensive back coach, so Tripp has a double role in that. You have your offensive coordinator, and he's watching, your O-line coach. Everybody has certain things that they do. So it's a constant, as well as teach school.
Yeah, don't forget they have a full-time job during the day.
And then get ready, have freshman JV on Monday night. So we had an install day on Monday. Then we turned around, played a freshman JV game, and then we left out of there about, I would say, around 9:30 Monday night, somewhere around that. Then got back to work on Tuesday and get ready. So it's a grind, but it's when you see the growth –
yeah.
Of the kids, it's all worthwhile.
You got to have a love for it, and clearly you guys do. Of course, and on Friday nights, a lot of people don't realize this. Of course, Friday nights you think, the game's over, we get home, everybody leaves the stadium, they all leave. But I promise you, them coaches are there till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They don't have housekeeping to come and grab all the jerseys that played and all the clothes. You guys have to be the ones to do all the laundry and everything. Is that correct?
That on Friday night after the game, we have to pick up all of the equipment that was put out earlier by the coaches and some of the kids that helped. And then after the game, we're in there doing the laundry, cleaning up, and watching the film.
Yep.
Things of that nature to get ready for Saturday, because it has to be ready to go for the kids to show up to lift weights and run.
Yep. So I just want everybody at home to appreciate what these guys do. This coaching staff is fantastic. They've been successful for a very, very long time, but there's a reason that they're coaches. They have to have a love for this, and a lot of people couldn't do this. A lot of, you guys, and I'll go out there and say it. Yeah, you guys aren't making millions of dollars doing this.
No, it's a love for the game. It's a love of watching young men improve and grow, and then it's just the life-altering things that you can learn from football or from sports. It's pretty cool to watch them.
And again, that's something that Coach Cook brought up last week. Is not only are you trying to mold young men into better football players, but you're making them better human beings as well. And we appreciate all you got, everything that you do. And of course, I know you. I have been to basketball games, and I see you at all of those. Of course, I know that's part of being the athletic director. And you show up, but you've been at softball games, you're at basketball games. Yeah, I'm sure you're at soccer games and all that good stuff too. So you've got to. It's a lot of time, and so we appreciate not only you, but we appreciate all the wives that have to deal with basically raising all these kids during these months while y'all are raising somebody else's kids on the football field.
Well, I've been fortunate. My wife and I have been married about 26 years. I hope it's 26. But the most important thing of that is that it is a sacrifice. And there was a lot of times that I can remember her carrying kids here, carrying kids there while I was gone. Yeah. So it is a sacrifice, but it's been worth it. It's been worth it, and Tioga's been a wonderful community to me and my family. In fact, my wife's assistant principal at the junior high now.
Oh, wow. So, congratulations.
Oh, yeah. So I just –
that's Chuck.
Yeah, I just think that it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place.
It is a great community. And let me get on a little personal level. You have a son, of course, Ethan. Good, I've got to watch him play all 4 years. I got to call his ball games. Now he's over at LC, playing at LC. Undefeated season over there. Have you been able to make any of the games?
Yes, I would leave the field house on Saturday and go. If they travel too far, I couldn't make it. But like every home game, or I'll watch it on TV, live stream or whatever it is. So they're really doing well.
That's awesome.
The coaches are doing well. The coaches got the program going in the right way, and I'm very proud of them. They're doing a great job.
It's been fun watching them. Of course, Coach Maddox over there has done a great job because for years and years and years, LC could barely get some wins in. Now they're going in there. They have the longest winning streak in the state of Louisiana, which is fantastic. And of course, and I'm sure Ethan's enjoyed it. This is his senior year, correct?
No. Actually, he has a year and a half. He has another year. He was redshirted, and so the good thing is, he's starting now, and it's just fun to watch your kids at the collegiate level play. You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So it's just been fun. Sometimes I'll go to this game and my wife will go to the Tech game and vice versa. So it's just it's fun.
Yeah, and of course your other son, of course, Mr. Hayden. We love him. Of course, I told him last year, said, you're my favorite punter I've ever had, because he's not really as big as he was, be able to punt the ball he was, and we're glad to see him doing so, enjoying Tech, of course. And I know he's in his freshman year. He's a lot of times that first year, I know it did with Jalen. I'm not sure on with Hayden, but Jalen was able to. He redshirted that freshman year. Of course, he had a little bit of injuries. I love the red shirt myself. I think it just gets the young men acclimated to college life as opposed to just football. And of course, we can't wait to see great things from Hayden as well.
Well, he's going to be redshirted. He can play into 4 games. He's already played 1, and he can play 3 more and keep his red shirt. And they want to redshirt him. And he made the travel squad.
Good deal.
And I tell people all the time, he's the biggest cheerleader they have out there.
That's what you got to love, and of course he does. He absolutely loves the game, and I can't wait to see him further his career. And of course it was fun seeing the summer, with Ethan coming back and helping coach with you guys during the summer break. That was fun to watch, having him and Jalen in there together.
Oh, absolutely. He brought some different ideas to the receiver position. I tell him all the time that when he finally does graduate, we're going to hire him.
Yeah, tell him you got a job here with him.
I might be hiring my replacement.
That wouldn't be a bad thing for yourself, I'm sure. Well, we appreciate that. Well, we're going to go ahead and keep it here. We only got a couple more minutes left, so instead of us going to break, we'll keep it here. Coach, give us a little bit of a rundown here. Anybody that knows football, you got to start from the younger guys. And there's one thing that Coach Cook has been able to do since he got in here, and then, of course, when you came in as well, is this junior high team has to be coincide with the high school. You know, there can't be any conflict. And I know Coach says a lot of the same terminology at the junior high is what we're using here in high school. Tell us a little bit about what you guys try to instill in these young men at the junior high level, because they've been very, very successful.
They have. Coach Racine and his staff have done a real good job at the junior high level. We coexist. We work. They use our weight room facilities. We share the turf field and the grass fields with each other. We support. We go to the games. We do what we have to do. If they have a need of any type, we try to help them the very best we can with that. So, you know, when it's successful, the high school should be.
Absolutely.
And so it starts at the feeders. I tell people all the time, in education, you're taught how to read in the earlier, and you just keep reading, growing. Well, guess what? Football's the same way. You start learn the basics. You start adding and adding and adding. So it's been a good relationship.
Well, clearly it's worked, because you have sophomores, a lot of sophomores starting this year. And again, a lot of times it takes a couple of years to get, you know, if you're not doing a lot of the same terminology of transferring over from the junior high. And again, like we said, they've been super successful. Coach Racine has been phenomenal over there.
Yes, he's done a good job.
I've got to go watch a couple of their games as well, and love the fact that you look at the junior high games, and then you go to a Friday night game, you're going to see some of the same formations. You're going to see a lot of the same terminology, and it makes it fun watching here. That's why these kids are so good and get prepared when they come see you as a freshman.
Well, he lifts weights with them. They watch film, and that's some of the things that we do. And like you said, when you go out there, he's throwing the ball around. It's not just, you know, double tight, double wing. He has some of that, but he has multiple formations that he can do. And it's helping the kids. The more kids you get in your program, the better off in the long run we'll all be.
And that's what Coach Cook had talked about. He said next year he's looking at having some of the most kids he's ever had on the roster. And that goes, again, a successful junior high team and goes in. You're only as good as your, you know, the youngest class that you got coming in. Of course, you know, you want to make sure you got talent always flowing through that deal. And Tioga has been blessed with that here, from Red River football to junior high and to everything. So we want to say thanks, huge thanks for Coach, Athletic Director, Coach Dan Crispin, for coming in, filling in for Coach Cook. And, again, this has been the Tuesday night special edition here of the Reservation Roundup here live from Quebedeaux. We will be playing 7 p.m. Thursday night at Pine Prairie. Now, look, we want you at the game. If you can make it, please make it to the game. We tell them that every week. We want you in the stands. We want you at the game. If you can't make it, then, you know, we want you to watch us. But if we want you to go to the game, you can watch us later on. When you get home, you can go back and watch it, and if you want to pick out plays or whatever. But we want you at the game supporting these young men as much as we can get in there. We're not trying to take tickets. We're trying to help these young men and get seen and do that. So we appreciate everybody for watching here. I am Billy French, alongside my partner in crime behind the camera, Mr. The Applause Guy. He was doing all that. That's all Chuck Perkins, our producer. I can't do anything without Chuck. I appreciate Chuck so much. You have no idea. So, again, this is the Reservation Roundup, again, from Quebedeaux in Pineville. And we'll see you Thursday night at Pine Prairie. God bless.